Welcome back to the program. Let's go to line number 6. Good morning, Marilyn. You're on the air.
Good morning, Patty. How are you this morning?
Great today. Thanks. How you doing?
Oh, good. Thank you. I just want to start by saying when Robert called in from Central, he talked about the anxiety and stress he was feeling from the project proposed in his area. I just want to reiterate what we've been feeling here and confirming the same feeling for the last almost 2 years now, saying no to this company and to this government on this proposal for our area. It's like mental abuse, Patty, like the anxiety and the stress that we've been under is unbelievable. And, you know, we've said no in all languages, no in French, English, Mi'kmaq, and they will not take no for an answer. It's abuse. It really is. Now, where we live here is all mountains, and everything runs downhill. So right now, I'm in a valley. I go up on the mountain here. If I tap the sleigh or the side of the snowmobile, you'll hear the sound on the mountain, and then it echoes out into the cove. It's all echo chambers. So when you got 12 million pounds of explosives that they're proposing for our area, it's going to be like living in a war zone here.
Sorry, 12?
Like 12 million pounds of explosives for this project. Now, that's over Port au Port and Codroy Valley.
What are we referring to there? What are the explosives you're talking about?
For the bases of the turbines, Patty, they're going to be blowing the tops off the mountains to put the bases, the cement bases for the turbines. 12 million pounds of explosive. That's in the EIS.
Okay.
I don't know if you. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to give you a little background from the peninsula for people who don't know it. But we have CEMEX Materials here, formerly Atlantic Minerals. It employs 120 employees. It takes up a third of our land mass. I come from generations of fishermen, and my father was a fisherman. It was passed down to my brother. My brother will be getting ready to retire soon. It'll be passed down to another generation. All this chemicals from the turbines and the runoff from the construction of roads and everything else will be running to our oceans in all the outlets around the peninsula. It's going to destroy our fishery. The vibrations will... It's been proven that the fish will move because of the vibrations. So,
from the vibrations of the turbines on land?
On our mountains, Patty. The vibrations on the rock. Okay, so the dust that we have here now, the noise, we got weekly blasts every week here from CEMEX Materials. Okay, so it's going to be like a war zone. That's what it's going to be like. Now, I said in the last time I called your show, you asked me at the end of the talk, you said, is there any way we could work with this company, to make this, project go ahead? And I said, you know what, Patty, if they came in and it said, we'll put 30 turbines down the center of the peninsula, we could probably live with that. Well, I have to walk back that statement, and I'll tell you why. I watched an interview lately with Mark Mallet of Wind Concerns Alberta, and he was interviewing a well-known environmental scientist. And she talked about the effects of wind turbines, and she said the bigger the turbine, the bigger the impact on humans and the environment. She said she wouldn't live within 50 kilometers of a wind farm. She said the setback for these monster turbines is 10 to 20 kilometers. Patty, they're proposing 1 kilometer for the people on the Port au Port Peninsula. This is maddening. It's maddening. Now, Patty, don't take my word for it. If you go on the ETC Facebook page and you look at the interview I did with a John Mayfield from Nova Scotia, he lives within 1 to 1.5 kilometers of an 80-meter high turbine. Now, ours is 200 meters. And he said he's been plagued from day one from the noise and the shadow flicker. And I mean, I have no skin in this game. I have no reason to be anti-development. I would love for our children to come home, Patty, and work here. I would love it. But this is not the answer for Port au Port. And we've said no over and over and over again, and now it's abuse. So have you had a chance to look at the EIS amendment, Patty?
I read as much as I could stomach.
Right.
I've been, I would think people would realize that I spend a significant amount of my day reading a variety of things, just about everything that we can see. And sometimes when things are so technical, I do the best I can. Like, I've been going back and forth with the guy I know who's an engineer, trying to say, can you tell me what this means? And he's been helpful, but yes, I've read as much as I could.
Right. So, Patty, I'm not. I don't have a a Harvard education. I got grade 12. That's it, Patty. And you know what? I thought the EIS was deficient, but the EIS amendment, is even worse. And I'll give you a couple examples. For public comments, they have there, and I'll reference the page if you want. It's 3.9 or 3.9, and it's section 3.2, I believe it is. Hold on 1 second now. Anyway, it's it's 3.2 of public comments. The amount, it says 189 individual submissions indicating in favor. And in brackets, they got general support or specific comment, example, economy. Then 151 individual submissions indicating not in favor, concerns raised. Then they have 304 form letters received from the Environmental Transparency Committee. And nothing afterwards, doesn't say not in favor or concerns raised, nothing, blank. 397 form letters received from Codroy Valley United. Again, nothing afterwards, no concerns raised, anything like that. Codroy Valley United petition with 410 signatures. Now here's the problem. The 304 form letters received from the ETC, I sent in 290 of those form letters because people don't have computers, they don't have internet, whatever. I'd rather keep it all together in case we ever have to go to court, Patty, and I can prove, listen, this is what the people said, we don't want it. So if you take the 300 form letters that were all opposed to this project and you put it on to the 151, that's 455 individual submissions indicating not in favor of this project. If you look at Codroy Valley United petition with 410 signatures opposed to this project, you add that on to the 455. The numbers in here were put in there purposely to mislead the public in thinking that people here in the project area are for this proposal, and they're not. They're absolutely not. In the amendment, they talked about two potential concrete plants, one in West Bay and one in Agatuna. Now, potential now, this is not definite. Under the government's Environmental Protection Act, concrete plants have to be registered for an environmental assessment under Section 432. In addition, quarry operations for sand and gravel exceeding 10 hectares must be registered for environmental assessment, Section 33(3) of the Act. And, Patty, there has been no environmental assessment for concrete plants for this project.
Fair enough.
The study for moose and caribou has not been completed. The study for birds and bats have not been completed. Andrew Parsons talked about working with this company on decommissioning of this project. Patty, these studies and everything else should be completed at this point. This is the 11th hour, and the people have the right to know the information, and if this company cannot provide it, then this proposal should be null and void. It's just ridiculous what they're going on with.
I appreciate you filling in some of the gaps here this morning, Marilyn, and I appreciate your time and call one more time. Would you like to say anything else before I get to my newscast?
Yes, our elected government officials are paid by us, the taxpayers, and you should be representing us, not strangers to the province. Goody Hutchins said she's seen a rally in Stephenville of thousands of people, and what got her the most was a young child with a sign that read, "I want my daddy to stay home." Well, there were not thousands there. I've seen the drone footage. There was 400 people at the most. Okay. And if Goody would have seen the rallies in Port-au-Port and Codroy Valley, she would have seen a sign that said, "I want my daddy to have a home to come back to." Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate the time.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. If the height of the turbine is something that I think is a legitimate concern that's been voiced by many, many people. Confederation Building, we're talking about towers that are, the tip of the blade would be 200 metres above the ground. Confederation Building is 64 metres tall. This is 200. If you ever been to Seattle, the Space Needle is 184 metres tall. Have you ever seen the Golden Gate Bridge? That's just about 220 metres above San Francisco Bay. Ever been to the UK and seen St. Paul's Cathedral? That's 174 metres tall. These are taller. Amazing stuff. It's the Washington Monument. Ever been to the Washington Monument? That's 170 metres tall. These are 200. Let's take a break for the news. Don't go away.